Hey everyone, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where it is The Rising 2023. Today, as of this recording, A Realm Reborn released 10 years ago today, and this is the annual celebration of the release of the game. Let's get started. This is also the second Rising event we have been able to participate in as a part of this Let's Play. So I am very ready to get going on this. Hello there, Kippy Jakya. Kippy Jakya is looking a worried sister. Well, why is that? Oh, if it isn't Satora, it's always a pleasure, my friend. And how fortuitous that you should appear now, just when I'm in need of help again. Pray hear me out. You see, my brother recently wrote saying that he wished to meet me in Ul'dah during the Rising celebration. However, the appointed hour has come and gone, but I've neither seen hide nor hair of him. I've checked all the likely places in the city to no avail, and I'm beginning to worry. If it isn't too much trouble, may I ask you to help me find him? Of course, I can do that. I am in your debt. Now, my brother is a youth of 16 by the name of Nagi. Ah, if you remember, we met him last year at the Rising. He recently became an adventurer, something he had aspired to since he was little. Being an adventurer yourself, perhaps you know of him, if not crossed paths. We have actually met before. Not only did you meet him, you helped him on his way, you say. What an amazing coincidence. That being said, it doesn't necessarily mean you would know where he is now. If he isn't in the city, though, chances are he went outside on some business. To begin with, I propose we split up and make inquiries in case someone has seen him. If you could focus on this area, I shall speak with those in the quicksand. Afterward, let us reconvene by the entrance of the tavern. Alright, sounds like a plan. Let's see if we can't track down your missing brother. Starting off, you can always tell, at least on the first day of these seasonal events, where the quest objectives are going to be, from where all the people are standing. Greetings, adventurer. How may I assist you? I am looking for a man by the name of Nagia. Oh, Nagi. I understand he is doing some work for the Wandering Minstrel. I dare say his client can point you in the right direction, if you can track the man down, that is. I'm afraid I don't know his whereabouts at present. Ah, the Wandering Minstrel, eh? Alright. Let's see if we can't get some information onto where that man might be. Hello there, adventurer. Have you seen Nagi? Something you need? I'm looking for a man by the name of Nagi. Oh, Nagi! I know the sprightly lad. Couldn't say where he is now, but last I saw him, he mentioned taking on some delivery work. He's a curious one, he is. Gets along with everyone well enough, but doesn't seem to like working in a team. What with talk of bandits prowling the road of late, I can't help but worry. That is a little worrying. Working on your own is not always the best idea, especially when things are looking a little bit troubled with those bandits about. Something I can do for you, adventure? If you've business with Bran, best state it quickly. This Gaz has the leads to follow and incidents to investigate for the Harbor Herald. I'm looking for Nagi, if you've heard of him. I see. With apologies, I haven't seen this Nagi. As a matter of fact, I've been rather busy working on my upcoming piece on the Rising. Why, just earlier I was interviewing the ever-enigmatic Wandering Minstrel, who's got another unusual venture in the offing. The Letter Force, he calls it. If that piques your interest, I recommend you go and see the man. He's at the Gold Court over on the steps of Thal. Alright. We know where the Wandering Minstrel is now, so let's go see if we can't get some info out of him on what's going on with Nagi. Hello there, Wandering Minstrel. Ah, my dear friend, what a pleasant surprise this is. I trust you have been keeping well. Now then, how might this minstrel be of service? So Nagi's sister wishes to find him. Indeed, I have entrusted him with a task and have an inkling as to where he might be. As you may have heard, on the occasion of this Rising celebration, I am hosting an exhibit called the Letter Forest. All are invited to anonymously submit letters to this forest and express their gratitude and encouragement for another, and all may peruse the letters at their leisure. Now, in order to collect missives from outside of Ul'dah, I have dispatched the Chocobo carriage. Nagi is escorting said carriage. When he contacted me on a link pearl a while ago, he said that they had emerged from the 12's Wood on their way back to Ul'dah. Given the hour, they should have already arrived. I know not what is causing the delay, but might I trouble you to look for them? I would go myself, except I am needed here at present. Alright, fair enough. I'm truly grateful. In case it helps, the carriage was meant to pass through the Black Brush station, so perhaps you could take your search to that area. I pray that nothing has befallen them. I agree. Also, sure would be nice to see your face, but ooh, yeah, no, this is a pretty big celebration, so not too surprising it's going to be nearly impossible to actually get a look at most of the characters we're talking to today, unfortunately. Now, I could wait a week, but I'm too excited. I really wanted to do this today. Hello there, Kippy. There you are. Were you able to learn out of Nagi? I was. It sounds like he was doing a delivery mission and should be back by now. Escorting a carriage for the minstrels, so that is the way of it. As suggested, let us take ourselves to Black Brush Station and try searching in the vicinity. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Maybe someone's seen the carriage, knows where the carriage is, maybe they've stopped there just for a rest. There is quite a bit of hot desert heat out there. Wouldn't be surprised if they needed just a short break to rest themselves. Alright, arriving here at Black Brush Station. Hello there, Kippy Jakya. Need to get help. Oh dear, what happened? Can you tell me? Kippy, were you able to get anything out of them? Satora, no sooner did I arrive than this man came running out of breath. You're an adventurer? Thank the 12. It's the bandits from the Kivaron Mansi. They've fallen on a chocobo carriage over by the clutch. The carriage only had one guard and he was sorely outnumbered. Please, you must help him. Oh no. That has to be Nagi. With me, Satora. Damn it, there's no end to them. We have you now, you stubborn little shite. Enough! Leave my little brother alone, or 12 is my witness. You'll receive such a thrashing as you've never known. From this fearsome adventure here, that is. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Not a problem. That's no ordinary woman. Retreat! Are you all right, Nagi? Sister, and Satora too. You should be the one to come to my aid. Thank you. How have you been, Nagi? Seems like you have been in a little bit of a scrape here, but it's been a year. How's it been? You remembered. I've been well, more than well. I'm sorry I didn't come when I said I would, sister. Rest assured I'm not too badly hurt. That's a relief. I'll take a proper look at your wounds back in the city. I must say I was quite surprised to learn that you had met Satora. She helped me when I first arrived in Ul'dah. From registering as an adventurer to completing my first task, she kindly showed me the ropes. Now, I had suspected that you were a great adventurer, but to send your foes running without even drawing your weapon, that's just incredible. Makes a lot more sense if you're caught up in the main story, to be honest. I still have a long way to go, embarrassing myself like I did. If I want Sister's approval, I need to grow stronger and be able to fight on my own. My approval? But first things first, Brennan and I have a delivery to make for the Rising. Good to see you, Brennan. How's it been? Good to see you weren't caught up in the whole, incidents over at the Waking Sands. It was a little bit rough there, and you were there last I checked before it happened. If you'll excuse us, we will hurry back to Ul'dah. Let us head back as well. I had a mind to pay the minstrel a visit in any case. Well, good to see that worked out for the better. Hello there, minstrel. Before we talk to you, let's check in with Nagi and Kippy. My sister was none too gentle dressing my wounds. Perhaps she was annoyed I didn't show up as promised. Well, that's unfortunate. Thanks to you, Nagi is safe. Still, what he said about making it on his own weighs on my mind. Yeah, I wonder if maybe there's another reason, Nagi, that she was, not so gentle. Welcome back, my friends. Pleased am I to see that Nagi is safe and well. Rising attendants inform me they now have all the letters. With this, we may proceed with the letter for us as planned. Thank you, Nagi. I'm so sorry I'm late. You see... Were it not for Zatora, there's no telling what might have become of the letters in Brennan. In the end, I was utterly useless. So that is how it happened. As Nagi's client, allow me to thank you as well for coming to his aid. That being said, my boy, you are far from useless. Nay, you bravely defended the carriage until help arrived. There's no need to belittle yourself so. Well, Satora didn't need to rely on anyone. No, she drove off the bandits with nary more than a stern look. I couldn't hold a candle to her. Like her, I want to be able to deal with any problem without help. Otherwise, I can't claim to be an adventurer worth his salt. Without help? Tell me, Nagi, all this time, have you been working alone, even for dangerous tasks? That's right, a worthy adventurer doesn't rely on others. If I'm to be the kind of adventurer you approve of, I must be able to handle anything by myself. I see. If that is what you believe, then I can't consent to you being an adventurer any longer. Return to our village and start over. What? But you were so happy for me when I became an adventurer. I'm working so hard to succeed, to prove to you that I have what it takes, but now... You've developed a grave misconception. Until you recognize what it is, I can't in good conscience approve of your calling. If you can't accept this, if you wish to remain an adventurer, then you must win me over. And it begins with pondering why you first embarked upon this path. Alright, sister, I'll think on this. I think he's completely missed the point. You weren't exactly subtle, Kippy, in what your issue was there. It appears Kippy wants her brother to rethink what adventuring is to him. Had the question been posed to you, what answer would you arrive at, I wonder? Alright, Kippy. Sorry about the little bit of a spat with your brother. I hope you're both alright. I'm sorry you had to see that, Satora. Despite how it may have appeared, no one wants my brother to succeed more than I do. To succeed and be happy. After all, I know better than any how hard he works. Unless he changes his ways, however, he is like to die somewhere out there. Even if he manages to stay alive, he would only know an arduous life. That's why I didn't go out of my way to be gentle when dressing his wounds. If he could just focus on what actually matters, instead he obsesses about gaining my approval and compares himself to others. Yeah. Do you think maybe we might be able to help him out? You got anything new, Wandering Minstrel? Nope. Kippy Jakia is again looking a worried sister. Just for different reasons this time. If truth be told, no matter what Nagi wants to do, it is my intent to support him. It's his life after all, and no one else's. It isn't my place to interfere. Be that as it may, if he is sabotaging his own aspirations with his obsession for my approval, I can't simply stand idly by and watch. Loath though I am to impose, until my brother has found his answer, might I trouble you to keep an eye on him? Sure, I can help out. Please take it as a request from me as well. Ever has adventuring been dangerous, and it is more dangerous still for one who spurns help. Like Kippy, I do not wish for Nagi to continue on his current path. As a fellow adventurer, please help him find a better way. Thank you. Now then, on a related matter, I must pay a visit to the Weavers Guild, but I'll see you again anon, if you'll excuse me. Alright then. Nagi set off this way, so you may find him at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. We leave him in your capable hands, my friend. Alright, before I go, anything new? Be it gratitude or encouragement or sympathy, each of these letters bears the wishes of one soul for another. For Nagi to work so hard to see them delivered at hearts, I do not believe he rejects connections with others. Nay, something drives him to believe and behave as he does. I think we already may have an idea. Okay, before we go see him, I do want to see real quick if we can find Kippy over at the Weavers Guild. I think it would be very cool if she is in fact over here and we can talk to her. There you are. Oh, you are here! I do not agree with Nagi's belief that if he is to be an adventurer worth his salt, he can't rely on others. Lest we forget, adventurers help others through the work they accept. To refuse to accept help in turn not only defies logic, it is saddening. Alright then. I am very glad she actually was there and you can talk to her. That's neat. Alright then. Let's head on up and track down Nagi. But yeah, I'm really glad that I thought to go and check on that since, I don't recognize you. But yeah, anyways, I'm really glad I decided to go and check on that since, when I was playing the event with my partner and my girlfriend earlier today, none of us thought to go check that. The family ain't interested unless you've got a business proposal, pal. Got it? Good, now get the hells out of here. Interesting, I have never seen you before. Do you like only appear during certain times of day? Interesting. Alright, there's Nagi. Hello there. Oh, it's you, Satora. What is it? Your sister wanted me to come and check on you. Is that so? I'm sorry, this is really something I should be doing alone. Still, it's nice to have someone to talk to. Like my sister bade me, I'm pondering why I chose to become an adventurer in the first place. Kippy has looked after me since I was no more than 10 after our parents passed away. She was already a reporter by then, and her work took her to various places. From her, I heard tales about adventures and came to admire them. Upon learning of the full extent of the impending calamity, she took us to a village in the mountains where our aunt lived. It's desperate times like these that people need stories of hope, she used to say, and I believe she had wanted to remain in Gridania and continue her work, but she left in order to keep me safe. I was a burden to her then. I don't want to be a burden to her again. For that, I need to show her that I don't need to depend on others, that I'm a capable adventurer who can handle anything by himself. I'm gonna go on a slight brief tangent real quick, just because it is relevant to this. I did not play 1.0. I didn't start playing until Shadowbringers until we were about halfway between Shadowbringers and Endwalker, and Endwalker at the time of recording is the current expansion. So I started playing around like patch 5.3, 5.4. So I didn't get to see this, but I have heard secondhand, that Kippy Jakia was actually in 1.0, the original release of Final Fantasy XIV. She and several other reporters existed in the game, and as the story progressed in the original release, the 1.0 release, they would write articles about the goings-on of the world, and in particular, they would write articles about the impending calamity, which, I don't know, it's just really cool that these characters have existed for so long, and they continue to be relevant. I remember people have uploaded, like, snippets of those articles. They've uploaded copies of those articles that were written for 1.0, and I remember Kippy's, like, last few articles having a really melancholy and just terrified tone. And then saying, it's been a while since I read it, but I do believe that sounds familiar, that her saying that she would have to leave to protect her brother. I feel like that is familiar to me, but I would need to go back and check again because, again, that was over 10 years ago at this point, and I was not playing at that point. I wasn't playing until like 3 years ago, 7 years into Final Fantasy XIV, so yeah. I don't know, this got me thinking about that, and I kind of, even though 1.0 was objectively, from everything I've heard, just a terrible game, I really wish I had played it. I do wish I had played it just to have that experience of, like, seeing that world as it was. Assuming I did not read this dialogue, I was a burden to her then, I don't want to be a burden to her again. For that, I need to show her that I don't need to depend on others, that I'm a capable adventurer who can handle anything by himself. Nagi, I think you're, missing the point entirely. Ponder as I might, I can't understand what's wrong with that. Well, when in doubt, that's a typo. I suppose I should do what adventurers do and gather information. It would be good, I think, to speak with people like my sister. People who aren't adventurers but are familiar with them. Who in Ul'dah would fit that description? Well, we have three choices. The face of the Adventurers Guild, who would be Momodi Modi. The local purveyor of information, Wymond, who is... We'll get to more about how Wymond works eventually. He's got some interesting business. Or a business with extensive dealings with adventurers? This is a bit impersonal. This isn't necessarily connected to adventures, though this is the one I actually picked when I was playing with my partners earlier today. But this is the correct answer. Of course, who else but Miss Momodi? In her capacity as guild representative, she's bound to have some valuable insights. I'll seek her out at once. Alright, let's follow him. But yeah, if you pick one of the incorrect options, he rejects it and then suggests going to Miss Momodi on his own, so good on him for thinking of it. He was just a few moments away from thinking of it himself. But yeah, when I was playing earlier, I didn't pick that option because I honestly misread it and thought it was saying, like, a member of the Adventurers Guild, as in an adventure. And he said he wants to speak to a non-adventurer, so you see how I thought that might not be the correct option. I still remember when I first came here to sign up. I was a nervous wreck then, but now this place feels like a second home, and I come all the time for crumpets. They make them so springy and serve them drowning in butter and honey. Oh, that sounds so good. Don't do this to me, game. Sorry, now isn't the time for that. Come, let's have a chat with Miss Momodi. Well now, if it isn't Satora and Nagi, to what do I owe the pleasure of both of your companies today? I was hoping to get your advice on a certain matter. The misconception you've developed about being an adventurer, that's an interesting one, I have to admit. Try as I might to figure it out, I keep going around in circles. I thought you might be able to offer some insights. This is just a gut feeling, but I reckon I understand what your sister's trying to say. Tell me, Nagi, suppose you failed to get your sister's approval. Would you simply give up being an adventurer? Would it all become meaningless? From this here counter, I've indeed seen off many an adventure, each and every one unique with dreams and destinations all their own. But in spite of their differences, they all share something in common. A reason for first embarking upon their journey. Satora, would you mind telling us why you chose the adventure in life? Since this is kind of a, since the Rising is kind of a meta event about the game itself, this is technically asking you why you started playing Final Fantasy XIV, but in Satora's story, the reason she set out was specifically twofold. Both tying back to one issue. Her family was not doing so well after the calamity. The 12th Wood was becoming more dangerous, and increasing hostilities from Gridania as Gridania became more closed off led to them being less able to trade or find work or sell the harvests from their hunts. And not to mention the hunts themselves becoming more dangerous. So Satora set out to find work, for one, to send money back to her family, and for two, to become a more capable fighter so that she could help make the hunt easier, at least. So it would at least be easier on that end. So I guess out of these options, none of them really fit. None of them really fit, I don't think. I could say it's a secret, because it is kind of a personal thing for her. If we're talking about the reason I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, it's because of something coming up in Heavensward when we get to that expansion, which will be a ways off, but trust me, I will make it very known when we get to that, why I started playing the game. It was something I learned about and was spoiled on, and I was just in shock that a video game would handle a topic like that so earnestly and in a seemingly respectful manner. But I guess in that sense, the reason I started playing Final Fantasy XIV, I wanted to see what this world had to offer. A world that would have such an incredible thing in it. So, let's go with the meta answer. Heh, how very like you. Keep that reason close to your heart now, you hear? And you, Nagi? What inspired you to become an adventurer? It's simple, really. I heard about adventures from my sister and became infatuated with the lives they led. Like them, I wanted to be able to see the world while helping those in need. Then isn't that enough? Your sister's approval or no, you have a reason all your own. By the 12 I see now. At some point, my desire to prove myself to Kippy had displaced my own motive for being an adventurer. That's a misconception Kippy wanted me to recognize. What a fool I've been. Wanting someone's approval isn't wrong in and of itself, mind, but it's got nothing to do with why you're an adventurer. It shouldn't force you to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do, like trying to handle everything alone just to prove yourself. I'm gonna add on to that, Momodi, because, God, it is understandable but frustrating. You don't need to prove yourself. Well, that's enough from me today. I've said my piece. What you do now is up to you, Nagi. Thank you for helping me realize, Miss Momodi. Think nothing of it. It's my job to watch over you all. Nothing makes me happier than to see you happy doing what you do. Thank you so much, Momodi, for helping out with that. You gave him exactly what he needed, I think. Thank you too, Satora, for accompanying me. I think I know what to say to Kippy now. And loath though I am to trouble you again, there's something else I'd like your help with. You see, of the letters we collected in Limsa Lominsa, one was from an explorer who was seeking an escort for an expedition. By now, that letter should be on display at the Gold Court. I want to show it to my sister, and I'd be grateful if you could help me find it. Come, let's rejoin the minstrel. Sure, I can help out. There's gonna be a lot of letters, so I can imagine you're gonna need the help. I am more than happy to provide. Alright, hello there, wandering minstrel. Before we speak to you, let's speak to Nagi. Now where is that letter? Already searching. Good. Oh, welcome back. Dare I hope you were able to find the answer? Yes, I'm happy to say. Miss Momodi helped me to come to a realization, and when I go to speak with my sister... I see. By all means, feel free to borrow the letter. Does it have any distinguishing characteristics? As I recall, there was a large drawing of a blue chocobo on it. Very well, let us all search together, the more swiftly to find it. Alright, there's a lot of letters to look through. A great many of these letters bear words of thanks for adventures, a testament to the good that you and yours do out in the world. There are 4 letters in total that we can read. This is our only chance to read them, so I'm going to be sure to pick the correct one right over there last. Dear kindly Mikote Adventure, thank you for helping me to find my mother. I was scared at first, but you made me feel brave. I had lots of fun at the Gold Saucer, and it was even more fun because of you. I hope to see you again. Please take care. Hi, it's the lost child from the Gold Saucer. The staff were tied up, so I helped to track down the mother. what a fine feeling this is. It does feel good to see your impact on people. Oh god. So, on the social media website co-host, oh my god, I swear this is relevant. I swear. On the social media platform co-host, I run a daily blog, Warrior of Light Question of the Day. It's fully acronym though, initialism, so it's WOLQOTD. And it's just like a question of the day every day for people who play Final Fantasy XIV. Tell us about your characters and what they've been up to. Tell us about like what they're like, their personalities, their interests, stuff like that. And today, someone participating in it, or who's been intending to start participating in it, made a post like just out of nowhere, just thanking me personally, and like I teared up a little bit. It was a really sweet post. Just they talked about how just the little thing of running that blog every day like helped to make the community feel so much more lively on that website, and it seems like it had brought so many people together to be like become closer friends and like learn about each other and just enjoy the game in a whole different way. And it's not exactly a unique thing, a daily like question of the day thing for original characters, but it is. This is relevant. It's just, it feels good to see people like appreciating even the small things you do to help. And I don't know, yeah, just like the perfect timing of that today. All right, let's go ahead and get reading these letters. Dear Not-So-New Adventure, as a traveling merchant, I've had my fair share of happy encounters, but sharing a carriage with you stands out above them all. For you see, I went on to sell veritable crate loads of the ring I gave you, and turned enough of a profit to buy my own carriage. You shared with me your adventurer's luck, and I count my blessings every day. My only regret is that I neglected to ask you your name, so I don't know your doings. If my instincts are on the mark, though, you've surely made a name for yourself. Wherever you are now, my friend, I pray for your continued safety and success. While the contents ring a bell, this letter wasn't written by an explorer, nor does it bear a drawing of a blue chocobo. It isn't the missive Nagi is looking for. But it is familiar. If we go over to our rings and sort them. Not that one. Which one is it? Here it is. The very ring that they were talking about. Good to hear that at least one of the triplets is doing so well. Let's see. We've got 3 more to read. Let's start with the quill. Esteemed adventurer, should you chance to read this letter, I pray it finds you well. Much time has passed since you helped us to rebuild in the wake of that terrible disaster, but we still remember you most fondly. Our lives continue to be hard, and every day brings new challenges. Nonetheless, we have regained a semblance of what we once had, and smiles are beginning to return to faces. The morrow will be brighter than today. This we dare to believe now thanks to you. And should you yourself face hardship, I pray that you believe the same. While the contents ring a bell, this letter wasn't written by an explorer, nor does it bear a drawing of a blue chocobo. I'm gonna be honest, it sounds like this is supposed to be referring to a specific event. I don't think we've reached it yet, but I also don't know what event it is. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments. I feel so bad not remembering. Though judging from the emote that the person to my left, to the right of the screen just used, actually I think I have an idea of what it might be. But still, fill me in. Please, I want to know. As someone charged with the city's peace, I cannot overstate how much of a boon adventurers are to our efforts. Some folk had expressed concern that an increase in drifters would see a corresponding rise in crimes, but on the contrary, they are steadily declining. Soldiers like ourselves are somewhat limited in the scope of our duties, and we are not always available to lend our citizens what assistance they need. Thus would I take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to adventurers who step up to fill the void. While the contents ring a bell, this letter was not what we were looking for. Though this one is generic enough that I am willing to believe that both are intended to be generic and not referring to any particular event. It is certainly possible, but if that one is, or if either of these are somehow have like one small detail that connects them to something specific, I want to know what that is. please let me know. It's very, very possible and even likely that they're just generic thank you for helping, but... Finally, the drawing we are looking for, the letter we are looking for. Dear Adventure, how fares your journey? Mine continues, and I wake up to the sound of birdsong and lie down to sleep beneath the moonlight as I seek unblazed trails. Long ago, when an adventurer aided me, I was made to realize how alike we are. Deep down, we are simply travelers who thrill to make new discoveries. Thus do I write this letter now in hopes of recruiting such like-minded souls to join me on an expedition. If you at all share in my desire to make the uncharted charted, then I invite you to seek me out at the Drowning Wench in Limsa no Minsa. Eagerly do I await your coming. The letter recruiting adventures bears a drawing of a blue chocobo. It must be the missive Nagi is looking for. Alright. Now let's report back to Nagi. Hey Minstrel, you find anything interesting? A great many of these letters bear words of thanks for adventures, a testament to the good that you and yours do out in the world. Indeed. No luck over here so far. How about you? Yeah, I found one. I found it, I believe. A blue chocobo! Yes, this is the one. All that's left then is to talk to Kippy. Do you know where she is? She went to the Weavers Guild saying that she had business there. Perhaps she's buying clothes. At any rate, I'll look for her there. Thank you. For this, too, might I trouble you to accompany Nagi? Afterwards, I ask that you tell me how the events unfold. I shall await you at the Ruby Road Exchange. Thank you, Minstrel. Thank you for all your help. Let's go check in on them. Now, where are they? Ah, here we are. You're here too, Satora. I must confess I'm feeling rather nervous, so I appreciate your presence. Oh dear, you came to find me? My apologies for taking so long. So, Nagi, were you able to find the answer? Aye, to begin with, I want you to look at this. An explorer is assembling an escort for an expedition. Certainly sounds exciting. In wanting your approval, I was determined not to rely on others, but a part of me dearly wanted to be part of the expedition, to go where I dare not set foot alone. So I've decided that I'll answer the invitation. Then, this means you've given up on trying to do everything alone? I had wanted to prove to you that I'm capable, that I'm no longer a burden. And in my obsession, I lost sight of why I became an adventurer in the first place. To see what lies beyond the horizon and lend a helping hand to those I meet. That's what drives me, and I was able to remember this thanks to Miss Momodi and Satora. And whether or not you approve, I want to continue adventuring for my own reasons. Is that alright with you? Didn't you just say you didn't need my approval? But to be clear, I never actually intended to stop you. Do you remember what you once told me, Nagi? Shortly before the calamity struck. Did you interview adventurers again today? What were they like? What kind of places have they been to? Heh, you never get sick of hearing about adventures, do you? Never ever! When I grow up, I want to be an adventurer too! Well, that's fine as an aspiration as any, but do you know what kind of adventurer you wish to become? A hero like in the tales, perhaps? Oh no, sis, I'm not a hero. Adventurers are free spirits, and I want to be the freest spirit of all. Oh yes, I'll travel the world and meet lots of people. And when I visit home, you can interview me as much as you like. For that boy to spurn help for one of my approval, I couldn't bear to see it, and in order to bring you to your senses, I may have spoken a little sternly. As an adventurer, you'll experience no small amount of hardships, but you chose your path because you wanted to be free. So don't let yourself be shackled by expectation, be it your own or that of others, and instead take things as they come. So long as you are true to yourself and recognize your limits, you'll surely find a way forward. And remember, not even heroes can accomplish everything alone. Relying on others doesn't make you a lesser adventurer. If anything, the freer we are, the more we need to look out for one another. And that, I believe, is the essence and beauty of adventuring. Wouldn't you agree, Satora? A hero needs friends as much as anyone. You can't do it alone. I feel like that dialogue option was different on my main. Probably it would be different because I've made more main scenario progress and I'm caught up, but I'm curious what the cutoff would be if I am remembering that correctly. Understood, Kippy. I won't ever forget this. Knowing you, I expect you're raring to answer the explorer's petition in Limsa Lominsa. You'll be taking an airship, yes? In which case, I shall give these garments to you now. I had them made for you, thinking it was past time you had something better. For me? Thank you so much, sister! I must thank you too, Satora. You're the kind of adventurer I admire, and I'll keep on working hard to be like you. I couldn't have asked for a better person to watch over my little brother. I appreciate everything you've done for him and look forward to meeting you again, be it for a story or something else. With that, we take our leave of you. Till next time. You see the siblings off, safe in the knowledge that all will be well. Time to rejoin the wandering minstrel and relay to him that tale's happy conclusion. I really like the pair of last year's Rising with this year's. We see an adventurer get their starts, and we see them facing a little bit of a bump in the road, needing to remember just what it is that makes this so much fun. Alright, let's get back to the minstrel. Alright, made it back out to the Ruby Road Exchange. Hello there, wandering minstrel. Welcome back, my friend. Judging by your expression, I take it all as well with Nagi and Kippy. I see. Pleased am I to hear that. When we first set out on our journeys, 'tis usually for the simplest of reasons. Yet as we make our way, those reasons may become lost in a haze of motives, causing us to lose sight of what truly matters. In such a time, if we can but remember what prompted us to take our first step, we will always find the strength to take the next. Nagi shall be fine, I am certain of it. My thanks for keeping an eye on him. These events have inspired a new verse in me, a verse about the dreams of those who seek new worlds and the hopes of those who see them off. Greetings, warrior of light. This is the world that exists outside your reality. Could it be a dream? A flight of fancy conjured by your weary mind? Perhaps, or perhaps not. 'Tis a pleasure to meet you again. As I have in the past, I have beckoned you here that I might express my gratitude. Hey Yoshi P. Good to see you. 10 years have now passed since the world was reborn from its ashes, since we set forth upon this journey. Countless things have happened during that time, and I've had the pleasure of meeting many an adventure along the way. If truth be told, it hasn't always been easy. There are moments when I can wonder why I must struggle so, days when I'm tempted to cast it all aside. But in spite of this, I always manage to carry on, and it is thanks to my wonderful comrades, and to you, our esteemed adventurers. By now, I must have been regaled with tens of thousands of your tales. You usually share them with a smile, but even when it is with a frown, you tell me that you're still enjoying yourself. 'Tis no exaggeration to say that I derive all of my driving force from you all. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you. Ours is an unending journey, and nothing would make me happier than if we could keep walking it together. As you make your way, we promise that we will ever be at your side, matching you step for step. Now the time has come for this vision to end. Time for your eyes to open from this waking dream. Much time has passed since the world was reborn from its ashes. Countless souls have made this place their home. Every single one has left an indelible mark upon it. Together we have built this world, and it is our sincerest hope that we shall continue to do so for many years to come. So please be safe and well. May you ever walk in the light of the crystal. I dare say Nagi is aboard the airship by now. I pray that he and Kippy will find happiness upon their respective paths. I hope you do so as well, my friend. If you would lend me an ear, I would dedicate these verses to your future. I'll do my best to sing, but let's not call it singing. I might just read rhythmically. I hope that's acceptable. I don't have a singing voice. Maybe someday. It is one of those things that I'm like, casually, I would love to be able to do, I would love to be able to sing. I don't have the voice for it, nor have I really tried to develop it, so I got other things I'm doing. By morning light, the journey starts, a thrill of hope within our hearts, on westerly wind to river song, into the world where we belong. Above fields of white and azure sky, sunsets storm a crimson fire. Jewels a-glitter on pitch-black veil, a new day dawns, so goes the tale. By eternal wind we carry on, boldly towards a golden morn, with memories as a guiding star, shining our steps both near and far. Where you will go, whom you will meet, what you will see, there's no telling what the future holds for anyone. Yet, come what may, I bid you never forget this. The bonds you forge, the memories you make, and the footprints you leave behind, they shall one day spur you forward. So pray continue walking your own path. Wherever your journey leads, I shall be praying for your happiness. We now have access to the letter forest at the Gold Court. Speak with the tender station there to read the letters. Additionally, we have also unlocked the Kupo Kupo Adventure minigame on the Steps of Nald. Speak with Nonora at the Ruby Road Exchange to play. This, along with other minigames, may also be played by opening the toy chest in any inn-room. Someday we will check out those minigames. They're all available from in-rooms, so I feel not the slightest bit of bad about not playing it now. So, we have a few more things to do before we have finished this event for the year. To all who follow their hearts, I offer my hopes in song. Wheresoever your journeys may lead you, may you find happiness upon your path. Thank you, minstrel. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head outside of Ul'dah real quick. Because, oh god, I have so much stuff in my inventory. I gotta clean this out so urgently. We'll be doing a little bit of cleanup in tomorrow's episode. First off, we got a Rising Phoenix whistle for completing the event. This is a mount. Hot to the touch, this hand-carved whistle emits a lively shrill that summons your Rising Phoenix. We have a Phoenix mount. Let's go ahead and check it out. Oh, we do not have a lot of mounts at all. Goodness. We'll have more in time, but created as a token of gratitude for the Warrior of Light, this majestic familiar assumes the likeness of the Phoenix, the immortal bird of legend. Upon death, the creature is said to rise again from its own ashes, on account of which it is revered as a symbol of rebirth. The fact that we get to become the Phoenix for the 10th anniversary, and I don't just mean summon the Phoenix to ride as a mount. We're not riding it as a mount. We are the Phoenix. But the fact that we get to become Phoenix has special significance to this game. But it will be some time before we can really get into why. For now, we have an action as the mount. We can erupt into flames. We are the Phoenix after all. Alright. Next up, we also got 10 Naimia Potpourri. Let's go ahead and use one, see what it looks like. Beautiful Naimia lilies. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Okay, I'm gonna save the rest. Alright, next up, I'm gonna go drop stuff off. No. Okay, the reason my inventory is so full is because I was doing preparations for the culinarian crafting, which is coming up in a couple days. So my inventory is full and ready for that, but I probably should have held off another day or so. Oops. Oh well, it's fine. Let's see, we have the Rising Attendant here. In looking to the past, we take solace in the present and think of what the future may hold. That is the very essence of the Rising. This year, we have prepared a spectacular fireworks celebration. It is sure to enthrall everyone in attendance. We already know what the Rising is. I mean, we did this last year. It is a celebration of, in the real world, the release of A Realm Reborn and the revival of this game from a very messy start. In universe, it is a celebration of surviving the fall of Dalamud, which was 5 years prior to A Realm Reborn. The passage of time is vague in Eorzea, but that is largely so that individual players can determine their own timelines for how long things take. And also it'd be just messy to try and figure out how time is supposed to pass when you can go back and do old side quests that are dated to like earlier in the timeline. It's just easier to let the players determine their own timeline, so we're perpetually in a time bubble 5 years out from the calamity, but at the same time, time is technically passing however you wish it to be. Anyways, we can learn about the Letter Force, this year's special event. Not that we need to, we already know quite a bit. The Letter Force is a special exhibit in which we display letters folk have written to express their gratitude and encouragement for another. Anyone may anonymously submit letters, and one and all are welcome to peruse them. The force is located at the Gold Court on the Steps of Thal. If you are interested, I encourage you to seek out the tender station there. We'll go check them out in just a minute. That will be the second to last thing we do is the letters. We have the Rising Vendor, who will sell us the Land Reborn Orchestrion Roll, Palm from the Heavens Orchestrion Roll, We do have the option of buying an extra Naimia potpourri since we used one. We can also buy a whole bunch of other the special seasonal items. And we can also buy a housing item, the Rising advertisement. Essentially, just a big poster you can put on the wall of your house that's an advertisement for the Rising. Let's see, we do not have flowers, we do not have meteor shower, we do not have heaven's cracker. Oh, we don't have any of these. Okay, I'm gonna go clear space in my inventory and then we're gonna come back and buy 11 of each. Alright, so I picked up a bunch of goodies recently. In addition to the fact that my inventory is full from preparing for Culinarian, I picked up a bunch of goodies recently, and that's also contributing to the mess that is my inventory. I was planning to show off these goodies that I picked up in tomorrow's Monday episode, since that's the main story, but let's go ahead and just show them now. I filled up on Grand Company seals, so I picked up a couple of rewards from the Grand Company Quartermaster over in Gridania. I got the Gridanian half barding for my chocobo. I got the Gridanian barding for my chocobo. I got from Cutter's Cry the Abomination Orchestrion roll. And then just now from the seasonal event, we got the Land Reborn. And we got Palm from the Heavens. I feel like I got something else from the Grand Company as well. But I haven't seen it in my inventory, so it's probably somewhere around here. Oh well, not a big deal. For now, that should make enough room to get by. We have the Naimia potpourri. Yeah, we definitely have that. We don't have any of the rest. We'll buy 11 of each. And then try each of them out once. Alright. Let's try these out. Starting with, let's sort so that they're in probably a better location. Good enough. Realm Reborn Red. Shake up the wine or champagne and let it flow. Magic Prism, Meteor Survivor. Oh, that went way up there. Oh, but it's the firework that went off at the end of the event. Okay, next up is the Heaven's Cracker. Oh, it's huge! It's huge! We've got the Meteor Shower. Oh! 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 Let's not. That seems dangerous and a little bit in poor taste. And Magic Prism Flowers. Pretty. I love it. Very pretty. Alright. Second to last thing we're doing for this event is we're gonna go check out those letters. Alright, hello there, Letter Forest Tender. What do you got for me? Greetings and welcome to the Letter Forest. Displayed here are messages of gratitude and encouragement which folk the realm over have anonymously written. It comes as no surprise, but no few messages are addressed to adventurers. If you wish to peruse some letters, I should be pleased to guide you. Okay, I was wondering about that. There's one that's not on this list, and that's because it's not available until after you beat Endwalker. But other than that one that's missing, and that it would be major spoilers for Endwalker, these are all letters, messages really, from staff members who work on or with Final Fantasy XIV. A good number of them are from community managers, and others work directly on the game itself. Many years have passed since we installed the message board on an unassuming street corner. Ah, that's what you call the internet. To see it continue to be utilized by adventurers fills me and my fellow keepers with pride. Like a lodestone, the message board draws people together, and it is our hope that it keeps serving you well as a means to share information. For our humble part, we shall endeavor to maintain the board in good repair while bringing you news that may be of interest. With best wishes, a message board keeper. As a choreographist, my job is to create movements that convey specific emotions, such as a dancer's performance or a mammoth's adorable gesture. And though I have the honor of contributing my expertise to etiquette manuals, movement cannot be tangibly preserved in the manner that artwork such as paintings can. From the mesmerizing flutter of fabric to the inviting springiness of booze, it all passes by in an instant. In light of this, if but one of my steps or flourishes occupy a place in your memory, then nothing would make me happier. Movingly yours, a humble choreographist. One lazy afternoon, as I stood by the Aetheryte Plaza, I found myself absorbed by the sight of the adventurers whiling away their time. Greeting friends who were passing by, practicing a newly learned dance, sitting on a bench and chatting, opening umbrellas when it began to rain, tucking into a loaf of bread when peckish. To the untrained eye, they were doing not out of the ordinary. I, however, saw the fruits of my life's work, and it warmed my heart. Dreaming of a day when proper social etiquette is practiced by all, be it in a ballroom or otherwise, I shall continue to my quest to edify. Courteously yours, an etiquette manual writer. Dear Adventure, I am a theater set designer and one who is said to have a penchant for designing unusual props for the stage. Some of my labors of love, it thrilled me to discover, have caught your eye to become little companions that follow you around or even modes of transportation. To see my creations for the stage delight you off it, even the oddest ones, delights me in turn and further motivates me in my craft. In hopes that I can continue to delight you all, I will endeavor to create ever more interesting props. Yours in whimsy, a theater set designer. Dear Adventure, I am a festival committee member in charge of decorating the cities during the celebrations. While decorations are an oft unremarked part of events, some of you have noticed the little touches we apply, such as stray bombs and romantic snowmen, and it makes our efforts all the more worthwhile. I certainly took notice of a bunch of people trying that obstacle course, that Eorzean Nimble Warrior course, who are falling right off those poor NPCs. As you continue your adventure, it is our hope that the festive ambience we create throughout the year will provide you with joy and respite both. Mirthfully yours, a festival committee member. Recently, my fellows and I have been taking ourselves around the realm, repairing buildings and roads as well as restoring natural landscapes. This we do as part of an initiative to improve quality of life for adventurers. Yours is a long journey, and what little we can do to ease your way, we gladly do. Constructively yours, a humble architect. You who are reading this letter, I bid you imagine the countless adventurers who call this world home. I dare say it isn't difficult to do so, for that is reality as it stands. Yet, we mustn't take it for granted, for what we have now is the culmination of much hard work by full many souls. Souls including your good self. Adventurers breathe life into this world, each one of you giving rise to a grand tale. And I hope you never forget this. Thank you for taking the time to cast your eyes over these words. Wherever your adventures may lead, may you find happiness. With utmost respect, a nameless artisan. I first set foot in this land 10 years ago. Since then, I have had occasion to meet numerous fine adventurers like yourself. Many languages exist, and they sometimes act as a wall that divides us. This world, however, is a place where we might transcend that wall and come together in unity. Each and every day, you and yours find various ways to forge bonds. In so doing, you gain access to a new world as seen through different eyes. And that is what makes life endlessly fascinating. As you carry on adventuring, I pray that you'll be blessed with many such enriching encounters. Yours in understanding and unity, a humble linguist. Dear Adventurer, during the calamity and for a long time afterwards, there was nary a smile to be seen upon faces. Now, however, I often see you and yours walking happily through the city, It never fails to warm the heart. In my mind, you are the symbols of the new era. No one can say what the future holds, but when I see your smiles, I am reassured that somehow all will be well. Sincerely yours, a humble citizen. I used to be an adventurer, but in the course of my travels, I developed the urge to recreate for others the sense of marvel that I was experiencing. One thing led to another, and eventually I became a theater director. My role is to produce spectacular theater, and nothing is more gratifying than to receive praise from the audience. For a long time to come, I hope to continue creating memorable adventures to share with everyone. Yours in imagination and wonderment, a humble theater director. As an advertising scribe, I create notices for events and products that you see posted to message boards. Such information isn't exactly essential for adventuring, but I consider it a job well done if people are aware of their options. And I'll keep striving to deliver information that may be of interest to adventurers. Thank you always for your kindness and compassion. Communicatively yours, a humble advertising scribe. In all things, it's nice to be able to make changes to better suit your taste. But by the same token, the more choices one has, the more difficult it is to decide what to do. We began posting guides on the message board as a way to answer questions from adventurers. Before we knew it, we had surpassed 200 items. We couldn't have kept at it for so long without your invaluable feedback. It makes us truly happy when we hear that we could help solve your problems, even in some small way. Encouraged by your praise and driven by your requests, we'll keep working hard to serve you. Should you have any comments or suggestions, please do not hesitate to reach out. We always appreciate hearing from you. Informatively yours, a humble guide. All who set forth must invariably pass through the entrance. And while most will not spare the place a second thought, we gatekeepers think of naught else, day in and day out. Our solemn duty is to ensure that all adventurers can enter unhindered, and this entails keeping signs in good repair and pesky fiends at bay. We're especially attentive when we throw open all entrances at once following large-scale maintenance works. Inspired by the eager expressions you wear as you set forth anew, we will continue performing our tasks to the best of our ability. Vigilantly yours, a humble gatekeeper. A stirring story needs a formidable antagonist, one who stands in the protagonist's way and causes them sadness and suffering. When the hero finally overcomes that foe, they will know a joy that is as sweet as their struggles were bitter. Those who shared in that joy will go on to become friends true, their bond transcending age, station, and nations. In order to create such depressing lows and soaring highs, I will strive to conceive more compelling antagonists. Dramatically yours, a humble playwright. As someone who composes music for the stage, nothing pleases me more than to hear that you are moved by my work. I am also humbled to receive your words of appreciation for the concerts we hold and the orchestrion roles we release. You are my motivation, spurring me to continue composing music that brings this story to life, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yours in melody, a humble theater composer. From swords slashing to armor clinking, from water running to leaves rustling, I have the pleasure of recreating for the stage the various sounds that can be heard out in the world. It is a challenge and a thrill to produce these sounds, and we draw inspiration from the knowledge that they are heard and appreciated by many. However, the sounds of a play isn't limited to that which we ourselves create. No, they also encompass those made by the audience and the players. It is a collaboration between us, a joint performance. And it is my hope that we can continue filling the world with sound together. Acoustically yours, a humble theater sound designer. With the exception of the letter from the citizen, and the letter that you get after beating Endwalker's main story. those are all effectively directly from staff. It's not so hard to imagine exactly who wrote or what role the person who wrote each was in, or is in rather. Alright, one last thing before we're done with this event, and it's something that might not even be a thing. I just want to see if it is a thing. I have a hunch that it might be a thing, but there's a good chance it isn't. Off to Limsa. Alright, here at the Aft Castle in Limsa, let's head on into the Drowning Wench. What I want to see is, Nagi said he was going to come and meet with someone here in order to join in an adventure. And I wanted to see real quick if that's actually a thing that they put in. Is Nagi here with whoever is recruiting? It does not appear to be the case. That's unfortunate. It would have been nice to see Nagi one last time, but perhaps they've already set out on their adventure to wherever they've gone. I hope we get to see him again someday. I hope he's doing well, and I hope his journey is a very fruitful one. I like The Rising. It is probably my favorite seasonal event. It's just so reflective. It's very self-reflective. A good just look back at how far this game has come, how far the community has come, and a chance to look back at how far you as an individual has come as well. We've been doing this for over a year now. A year and 3 months? We've taken a couple breaks along the way, but we're moving along steadily. And we are coming up towards the end of A Realm Reborn at last. I love A Realm Reborn, but needless to say, it is not the highest point of Final Fantasy XIV, as much as I do enjoy it personally. There is so much good to come, and I so can't wait to share it with all of you. Have a wonderful Rising, and I'll see everyone next time as we continue the main story, where it's probably not going to be pirates, let's be honest. I'll see everyone next time for that.